Welcome to the Friday Value video. And this week, I'm going to talk about something that I believe everyone on the planet is familiar with. It's called free advice. Now, I kind of have to say this a little tongue in cheek because the Friday Value videos are free. So you are getting that from me. But everyone has an opinion. I've been told what to do by more people than I care to count. If I asked for their advice, I would listen and weigh my decision carefully. If I did not ask for their advice, I usually listened and thanked them for their input. Now, what I've noticed is the ones who tend to give unasked for advice are usually the ones who have the least amount of experience or education or knowledge of that particular topic. They tend to what we call shoot from the hip with few or no valid facts behind their advice. So, when you have a serious and potentially life threatening situation, whose advice is valid to consider? Who can you trust, or who should you trust, or who would it be wise to trust? Let's take a peek at some facts. Stories and articles presented by the media are written by journalists who typically have no knowledge of biostatistics. Their biostatistics is the looking and understanding and being able to read and determine validity in studies on the human body, health, and those kind of things. So these journalists are reporting their opinion or interpretation of someone else. The media is not the place to seek health or fitness information. People are well known to parrot what they read or hear, not checking the facts behind what they share. And this happens because they tend to trust or respect the person who told them in the first place. Or, oh gosh, I read it in the paper, it must be true. Or I read it in this magazine and I really like this magazine and it's on a topic I have a lot of interest in. So, of course, I'm going to trust what I read. They wouldn't print it if it wasn't true. I'm not saying that they're flat out lying about things. It's simply that they may not have a good understanding of the accurate facts behind the topic that they happen to be writing about. And there are a lot of, best-selling books out there. And I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but what we need to really pay attention to is the fact that most healthcare professionals do not have time to read all the studies. I remember reading something not that long ago that said that it would literally require a medical professional to spend 40 hours a week to keep up with all of the data that comes out. Now, who's going to have that? So they don't have time to read the studies, weigh how the numbers are manipulated to make it look like something does much more than it does. There's something called actual risk reduction, which is truth, is simple math that any second grader can do. And then there's relative risk reduction, which is twisting the numbers to make something out to be much better than it is. So if you see the word relative risk reduction, they have played with the math. And very few people know the difference, including healthcare professionals. So here's my advice, and I say this tongue in cheek because I'm starting off with free advice is worth what it costs. But when you need to make an important decision regarding your health, look at the track record of the person to whom you are listening. Have they really helped people? Does what they say work to restore health, to eliminate the need for medications, to radically reduce or even eliminate chronic pain? If the answer is yes, then you can trust their advice. If you don't know the answer, I suggest you find out before moving forward based on their advice. Anyone can spout data and statistics. There are many best-selling books that are not based on real facts. The true test is the results, That's the true test. So research advice to have lifelong well-being. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week.